Oh, Rob,
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
I'm in my studio, I think. I hope. What are you doing here?
I came to ask some questions.
Oh, okay.
So, this is Rob Bedford from Bonehead's Home. Care to introduce yourself better than that?
What's up? My name's Rob. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, and I own a studio called Bonehead's Home, and I own a clothing brand called Skulls and Stuff, because skulls are sick, really.
That is cool. I have one.
I do as well, I hope. I mean, everyone's got one, so everyone can relate, I think.
It's relatable. I'm relatable to you.
Exactly.
So, basically, we just thought we'd ask Rob some questions about graphic design because we get asked quite a lot from people we know about how to do graphic design and what goes into it. A lot of the time, we're actually mistaken for graphic designers. So
Painful. Painful.
Who'd want to be one of those?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just thought we'd ask you a couple of questions, really.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
So, why do you think graphic design is important to a business?
So, the way I look at it is, if you've got poor design, it can come across as looking unprofessional. And if your business puts in like a good design, just even for your branding or your social media or your marketing, it's going to come across as like you know what you're doing. Like, it's like a professional face, I think, and that's why I think it's more like it is important. Like, yeah, your business can be all singing, all dancing, does whatever, but if your front face is naff, it's going to have a knock-on effect.
It's true. I suppose consistency is important in that.
Yeah, and you have to have like a level of quality across the board. Whereas like, yeah, you can put the quality all in one thing, but other areas are going to dip. Not necessarily in design, but if you just put in all your eggs in one basket sort of situation.
Yeah,
I think.
that makes total sense. Is there any kind of pitfalls you see people falling into when they try and figure out what they want or try and do it themselves even?
Yeah, so my biggest pitfall I see among other designers is trend hopping, and it's people jump onto what's cool, and it happens, and I've done it myself. But when it's like, when people like looking for designers or design from a client's perspective, it's rushing. Like, I think that's the biggest pitfall for clients, because they'll put a time limit on that's not doable. Like, we need this now, and it's like your brand's not going to run away, especially with startup companies who are just getting to grips with everything. It's like, hey, we need this now. It's like, why do you need this now? Like, take the time to do it properly, and you'll end up with a better product at the end. And that's why, like, my time scale, like, first thing I ask is like, what's the time scale we're working on? What can we work with? And if it's too short a period, I'll tell them that. I'll be like, look, this isn't enough time to get the product you want, because I don't know what it is, but some people, like, they want to rush and get everything out of the way.
Like, it takes a physical amount of time to actually do it.
It takes a lot of time.
So that was the next question. How long does that take from start, don't even have an idea, to the work's all finished, done, bow on it?
It's a roundabout answer, but it's how long is a piece of string?
How long is a piece of string?
Exactly. It's one of those things that so many things depend on, like, how long a job takes, from like how much communication you need to do with a client, how much time down you need to do research, development, experimentation. Typically, like, a decent sized branding job for me takes about a month, and that's going from like hands-on time with the client to delivering the final draft. So it can be quite time consuming, but it honestly depends on the job as well, and like what the client needs. And it's like kind of an avoiding answer sort of answer. But it's one of those things, like so many jobs, like my last few jobs, like one, we're in our third month, another we're in our like fourth or fifth month, and another one we're in our like second month, and they're all completely different jobs.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those sort of things. It depends on what the client really needs.
Yeah, so it's custom to whoever's doing it and what they need doing.
100%. Like, it's definitely custom to whatever the project is, really.
Yeah. So if someone was looking to kind of start out and kind of do it themselves, what kind of advice would you give?
Advice so don't rush. I just don't rush. Take the baby steps. Like, don't try to go after the biggest contract you can go right at the beginning, because it's going to be harder. Like, work yourself up gradually. That's what I did. I started off like doing band logos for like hardcore bands and metal bands years ago, and like at first I was like charging like per member, because it was like a cheaper way to think about it. and that got me a lot of work, which let me grow and scale up to where I am now. But it's taking those small steps. It's important.
Do you think finding that kind of niche thing to start with early is good, or do you think it's good to kind of do as much as you can before?
A bit of both, I think, is important. So I started with bands, but I didn't pigeonhole myself to bands. I think when you're starting, I think any sort of creative sector, I think it's important just to say yes to everything at one point. Like, yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. And
figure it out later.
Yeah, a bit of that. It's a bit of winging it, but the more projects you take on, the more you find what you like and what you don't, and that helps you avoid doing that later down the line. So I now know that I don't like doing X rather than Z.
What X ever do to you?
X did a lot of stuff to me, but I would rather know that information at the beginning rather than 5 years in. So I think at the beginning of a career in design or animation or photography, videography, whatever, I think it's important to say yes and just say yes to everything and learn on the fly if you have to. I've done it. I think one of the first logos I ever did for some acoustic solo artist in Birmingham. He was like, "Oh, I want this neon typography logo," and I was like, "Okay, this is cool. We can do this." Didn't have a clue what to do, so I learned it on the fly.
Yeah.
And it looked really good in the end. But I had to learn on the fly because I'd never done anything like that before. And if I'd said no, I wouldn't have got a job.
Yeah, it's good to get out of the comfort zone.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway.
Getting out of
we'll do the same thing. If we can't figure out exactly how to do something, we'll figure it out. We'll never say no to it.
Well, that's the best way, I think. I mean, if you don't push yourself outside your comfort zone, you don't continue learning, you don't continue pushing your boundaries. I think it's important. Stressful, but important.
So, we're in your office and it's very lovely.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favourite thing in here, equipment-wise?
Equipment-wise, so pen and paper. Pen and paper is probably my most used thing. And I've got an iMac and a MacBook and an iPad or whatever, but everything starts on pen and paper. Regardless of the job, everything starts there, just to get my thoughts down.
Yeah.
And something Aaron Draplin said a few years ago, who's a really big designer in America, your hands most at free on paper. And I hands down agree with that. And I might do sketching on my iPad every now and then, but I can take a little pad with me in my pocket everywhere I go. And if I get inspiration, just put it down.
You can draw me later if you like.
Oh, okay. Let's get a pen. Let's get a pen. But I think pencil and paper is my favourite thing to draw with and work with. It's it forms the boundary of everything I do, I think. Yeah. So I couldn't live without it. Regardless if I like it or not, I couldn't do my work without it.
Yeah, it's a similar thing in animation. It's easier to get your ideas out on paper, but it's all drawn out digitally.
Even the bad ideas have to get done.
We don't have bad ideas, only good ones.
I mean, I'd like to say that, but for me, even if I think of something, even if I go in my head, this is going to be crap. This is really going to be bad. I still do it anyway, just to see what it looks like on the screen.
It could surprise you sometimes.
Sometimes
the ideas you think will be terrible actually work the best.
Sometimes it does. So I'll typically go off a handful of pages of just little sketches and doodles and little bits of development I can see. And when I start getting more comfortable with it, I start putting it in. If it's branding, I start putting it together with Illustrator. Yeah. But even the stuff that I think is gonna look I'll still do it. So that way I can look at it compared to the other ideas and I can be right, this doesn't work. This clearly doesn't work. Whereas this does. It helps you
nothing else. It shows you how good the other ideas are.
Well, exactly. It helps you formulate where to go from there. So, pen and paper, pencil, paper. Give me some paper and I'm happy.
So you're in here a lot.
Yeah.
Often late at night.
Very late at night.
What's your favourite snack for when you can't actually cook?
I can cook very well.
In here?
You know, the microwave is the microwave has a lot of capabilities. My favourite snack, my go-to snack at the moment is angel slices.
Ooh, angel slices.
I can just go at them for hours. I mean, I do. But they are prime snack material.
They are good. My biggest problem with an angel slice is that they're quite small. I prefer to get a full angel cake. And that's one giant angel slice.
Give me that. What else do I snack on? Like, it does like chips and ice cream. Chips and ice cream is great.
I've had it with a milkshake, which is like not too distracted on the food talk. Thanks very much for letting me in.
It's cool. You're welcome here anytime.
And you're also welcome upstairs. Thanks for asking our questions. Hopefully some people found them useful.
If you haven't found it useful, that sucks. But you can get at social media and ask us more questions.
Yeah, we'll put that on screen unless you know off the top of your head.
At a Bonehead's Home and at RF Bedford across everything.
That's impressive.